Welcome to week 5 of your diabetes education program. My name is Connie Horton. I am the diabetes educator who is going to provide you with your education today since you missed your class. I have been a diabetes educator for more than 25 years and have had type 1 diabetes for over 40 years. Today we are going to talk about mindful eating, dining out, challenges to being physically active, weight loss for better glucose management, and medications for glucose management. How have you been doing with your goals? We are going to review goals in week 7 again, but I just want to check with you to see. Please keep in mind of your goals, both your family goal and your personal goal, and be ready to review those and see how you're doing. Remember, any progress towards your goal is progress, and that's what we want to see. Let's talk about mindful eating for better health. On page 52 in your book, Type 2 Diabetes Basics. When we choose to mindfully eat, we focus on paying attention to the signals our body naturally gives for hunger and satisfaction. It helps you enjoy your meals more, develop eating patterns that are better for your health, and improve your sense of well-being. It also can help with weight loss or prevent weight gain. On this slide shows a hunger scale. At 0, you would be starved. At 10, you would be stuffed. In between, at levels 1 and 2, you're hungry. 3 and 4, pretty neutral. 5 and 6, after you've started eating, you're satisfied. 7, 8, you're full. And 9 and 10, you're stuffed. We want to eat at the hungry stage, which is going to be at 1 or 2 on the hunger scale. You should stop eating when you're satisfied to full, which is going to be about 5 to 8 on the scale. We definitely want to avoid being stuffed, which is at 9 or 10 on the scale. When we eat mindfully, we set a regular schedule for eating. We take time to eat. We try to eat at the table. We may even eat with other people. We should use the hunger scale prior to eating and as we're eating to determine when we are full. We should be present when eating. There are other examples about eating mindfully in your Eating for Better Health pamphlet. On the last page, where the copyright is at the bottom of the page, you will find at the top of that page says, "How can I eat mindfully?" And information about mindful eating is on that page. Eating when you're distracted takes focus away from your food and what you're eating. For many people, that makes them miss their hunger and satiety clues. Even taking a few bites of food while watching TV, talking on the phone, searching the internet, or reading prevents you from smelling, seeing, tasting, and experiencing your food. The process of learning to eat mindfully can take time, and it can also take practice. When we're learning to eat mindfully, it's important to pay attention to what's in your home. When you're hungry, you will grab what is available. Family members, you can really help with this. Here are some quotes from people with diabetes talking about how their family made it difficult to avoid certain temptations. Think about how this might feel for people trying to work on their diet. Family members, you should also be mindful in choosing what to bring into the house so healthy choices are there when you or the person with diabetes is hungry. And it's not reasonable to expect the person with diabetes to avoid temptation all the time. Here are some of those quotes. "They make good old caramel cakes with homemade icing at Christmas and Thanksgiving. Lately, there's been a bunch of family gatherings, and so they were watching my plate saying, 'Don't you eat that, that's too much of that.'" Once again, kind of being the diabetes police there, and that's not good. "My son was bringing home sweets from work. I wasn't eating too much, but I tasted every now and then. because it was Krispy Kreme donuts. Finally, he got another job and is doing something else, and I was glad of that. He had so many of them sitting on the counter, and it was so tempting not to eat them for that person. So even though that family member just brought them in occasionally for them to try and to eat, it probably wasn't the best idea, and healthy eating would have occurred more often if those would not have been there. We asked you to bring a food item to today's class. So if you have your food item, get it out. And if you don't, pause this at this point and come back after you get your food item. We're going to do a mindful eating exercise. I am using a raisin for my mindful eating exercise. I want you to start off by beginning that you are not familiar with this food item at all. You may be from Mars and just came to Earth, and it's a total new experience for you to try this food item. So I'd like for you to act as if you've never seen this object before. My object here is a raisin. I would like you to examine your item with all your senses. First of all, I'd like for you to look at the item. Then I would like for you to smell the item. I'd also like for you to listen to the item. Is it in a package? Does it make any noise? Touch the item. And then lastly, we're going to taste the item in a minute. Spend a good amount of time with your item. Notice how you feel as you experience this little object. Watch your judgments. Remember, you don't know anything about this item. I'm going to give you a few minutes to look, smell, hear, touch this item. Now, I would like for you to place your item toward your mouth and place it between your lips and hold it there. Notice what you feel as it rests there. Notice what desires you're experiencing. Notice what's stirring up in you. With your eyes closed, let the item roll back into your mouth. Let it rest in your mouth before you start to chew. Notice how your mouth is experiencing this. Now, with your eyes closed, I would like for you to bite down on your item one time and ask yourself, what do I notice? The taste? The texture? Maybe my own saliva? The desire to swallow? But I want you to keep chewing slowly with your eyes closed. Continue until your item is completely liquefied before you swallow. Notice the experience of swallowing all the way down. Sit quietly for a few moments. Notice the impact of what you've just done. How is eating mindfully different from your usual way of consuming this food? How are you feeling now? I know I always eat way too fast sometimes, and I totally miss out on all of these things about the items I'm eating. On page 53 in your book, I'd like for you to write down some ideas you can do for eating mindfully. Let's talk about dining out a little bit. Let's talk about portion sizes when dining out. Of course, we recommend avoiding buffet style and all-you-can-eat restaurants. We tend to overeat when we eat at these type of restaurants because we want to make sure we get our money's worth. You might want to choose items from a seniors or children's menu or from a side dish or a la carte menu. Skip extra large, deluxe, or supersized options. You might share a meal with somebody. Or when you get your meal, go ahead and box half of your order to take home with you. On the same page of your Eating for Better Health pamphlet, the How Can I Eat Mindfully, there's a section on what if I eat away from home. This is also some good information about eating out. Some of the ideas is planning ahead. Look at the menu beforehand. You might go online to the website or use an app for that restaurant. Look at the menu nutrition information before deciding what to eat. We want to choose better for you items more often. So on the left-hand side of the screen, with the green arrow, are things that are healthier for you, such as baked, broiled, grilled, or steamed meats, broth-based soups, salads or fresh vegetables, water, coffee, or unsweet tea. Things we want to stay away from are fried, breaded, or buttery items, cream-based soups, chips or fries, lemonades, sweet tea, and soda. These ideas are helpful for everyone, not just for people with diabetes. You may have other ideas in helping with eating out. Some of the things that you can do are use your salad dressing on the side. Enjoy a salad first if you tend to eat too much of more highly carbohydrate items, such as pizza. So if you're going to have pizza, have a salad first to fill up on the salad before you start your pizza. You can complete your plate by adding fruits and vegetables instead of chips or fries. It's also a good idea to look at your blood glucose results after eating out. You might learn from what your meal did to your blood sugar so that when you eat out again, you might make better choices or try different portion sizes. Let's say, if your blood sugar is high after eating pasta, then make the pasta about a quarter of your plate instead of half of the plate and get the rest to go. If you feel like you eat too much or have eaten too much, go for a walk or do some kind of physical activity after you exercise to help the blood sugar to keep from going too high. You might want to consider dining out less often. If you dine out daily, consider changing it to every other day. Eating at home lets you better manage your food choices. Meal planning, grocery store shopping, and meal preparations help you pick better for you foods than when we eat out. Family members can help when you go out to eat. You might think about and discuss restaurants with healthy options when choosing where to eat together. Set aside a time to look at the menu online together. Choose healthy options before you go to avoid last-minute hungry mistakes. Agree to split a meal. And also you can make sure any medicines or blood glucose testing supplies are in the purse or in the car before you leave. Think about other ways that you might be helpful when going out to eat. Let's talk about physical activity. Being physically active most days of the week can help improve glucose management. Many people with or without diabetes face barriers to doing regular physical activity. Some of those barriers might be that you're too busy, just not motivated, exercise is boring to you, or you may be experiencing physical pain when exercising. Think about, are there any other barriers you may be experiencing when you exercise? Any activity that gets your body moving is going to be beneficial. If you have physical limitations, you might want to work with your healthcare team to find out an activity that might be right for you. It's also important to ask your healthcare provider before starting an exercise activity if they think that exercise is going to be safe for you. It's important to be realistic when you think about physical activities, especially when you set goals. Schedule a time. Find a partner. Set goals. Track your progress. You might try something new, like online classes. Listen to music or a podcast while you exercise. It might make the time go by more quickly and prevent you from being as bored. Do what you can do and do it often. And make changes slowly. By eating right and exercising, we can experience weight loss. Benefits of a 5 to 10% weight loss plan helps improve insulin resistance, lowers cholesterol levels, lowers blood pressure, can even lessen the pain in the joints and improve your ability to move, lowers risk for sleep apnea, lowers risk for cancer, improves sexual function, and improves mood and overall quality of life. The biggest factor in relation to blood glucose levels is the fact that our bodies can become more sensitive to insulin, and that will help lower your blood glucose. If you're not at a healthy weight, losing 5 to 10% of your body weight is very beneficial. It may even decrease your need for medicines as it lowers your blood sugar. On page 59 in your book, at the top of the page, shows what a 5 to 10% weight loss looks like for you, and then this might help you set a realistic goal. So if you weigh 200 pounds and lost 10 pounds, that would be a 5% weight reduction. If you lost 20 pounds, that would be a 10% weight reduction. So if you weigh 200 pounds, it's a good idea to try to get down by 10 to 20 pounds. Also, don't forget about your Better Health pamphlet to choose healthier foods and portions that fit on a 9-inch plate. When you adopt the Eating for Better Health plan, you're likely to lose weight, especially if you include exercise. We'll talk about different weight loss plans in another session. Let's talk about medications. Medications work in multiple ways. They help your body release more insulin, help your body use insulin better, make your liver release less glucose, help your kidneys remove glucose, and give your body extra insulin. They can be given by mouth or injected. If injected, it can be insulin or non-insulin. The non-insulin injections might also help with weight loss. Insulin might be given once a day, which is called background or basal insulin, or it may be given multiple times a day. On page 126 to 131 in your book, there's more information on the various types of medications. Now, if you can pull out the prescription drug label that's in your packet, let's review the information that's on the prescription label for your medications. We'll start on the left-hand side and go across the top, starting with the pharmacy name and address, and the doctor's name, and that's the doctor who prescribed the medicine. You have the drugstore phone number and the date the prescription was filled. Underneath this information, you usually have the number of the prescription, which is used to refill your drugs. Also has your name and address and instructions about how to take the medicine. Also gives the medication name and the strength of the drug, and usually they'll show how many refills before a certain date. And then some of your medications will also have a use before date or an expiration date. Using this label can help you when we fill out our wallet medicine card. Do you know what medicines you're taking? Let's get that medication wallet card out of your packet and go over it. You can write down any information that you feel is important about your health care on the left-hand side of the wallet medicine card. The next section talks about adult immunizations so that you can keep track of when you have been immunized for pneumonia, tetanus, hepatitis, flu, and any allergies you may have. The next column is for your doctor's names and phone numbers, your pharmacies, and the last part is your name, phone number, emergency contact, and emergency contact phone number. On the back side, there are 2 sections to write your drugs in. There's on the left and then on the right. So there's room to write almost 18 drugs in here probably, maybe not quite that much. But anyway, you may use 2 lines for one because the lines are kind of thin if you have lines on yours. But you can at least get 9 drugs for sure written here. So you want to write the start date. That's when you started taking the medication. The drug name and the strength, and you can find that on your drug label, your dose, which is also on the drug label, and then write down when you take it, such as in the morning, evening, after meals, before meals, and then why do you take the medication? That's the information that you need on your medication card. After we have class today, I would like you to fill this card out and start carrying it in your purse or in your wallet. That's the end of week 5 information. I want you to continue thinking about your successes and write them down over the next couple of weeks. On page 62 in your book, you can write your successes down. We'll review your goal and your family goal in 2 weeks. Think about challenges you face and ideas for overcoming these challenges. For your next Zoom class, you will need to bring your diabetes basic book, your food plan pamphlet. You want to have your daily log completed for 1 week. So we're going back to using our daily log this next week and writing down our food, our exercise, our medication, and our blood glucose results on it. And if you've used up all the space on your daily log, you can create another daily log on another piece of paper or make a copy of the one you currently have. I hope you have a great week and can get back into class 6 with your group. Have a great day and a good week.